judge by appearances of the truth. Show me your work if you're good. He wanted the others. Thus everything became empty after so much work. He didn't understand that he didn't need it. Who knows, one day he will wake up the cold touches without hurting. Valeriana observes the valley where life insists on continuing. Between shadows and light snow, the world breathes slowly. Nothing there asks for glory, only time walking between trunks and ancient tracks. Eyes move in the immensity, silent, attentive to the rhythm. Children of the same season. They don't turn out of fury or pride, or out of a desire to dominate, but for the cycle that keeps them alive, for the right to continue. But the wind changed its song, and the snow seemed to weigh down. There's something wrong on the horizon, something that shouldn't be there. And then the white veil appears in the night, not as a part, but as a rupture. Empty-eyed, soulless steps, flesh moved by another obscure force. It's not hunger, it's not defense, it's not the law that governs the place. It's something ancient, something distorted that came only to break. The first attack is violent, tearing through the air like thunder. A wolf falls without understanding the breaking of that reason. But the circle doesn't break, even in the face of brutal chaos. They advance firm and united against the error of the natural world. Claws against prey, strength against instinct. The valley witnesses in silence the clash of what is and what was corrupted. She thinks of descending for a moment, but the distance seals the decision. Between rocks, wind and time, there's no way to change that vision. Blood stains the cold snow, the roar echoes, and then the veil tears in agony, and the body falls without reason. And silence returns to the valley, as if nothing dared to remember. But something there was broken, something that shouldn't have happened. It's not victory, it's not defeat. There's no song for singing, only the weight of a wounded world. through the dust of lived roads. Some carry stories, others only the weight of the day. Some find voices upon arrival, and some find their own breath. But every fire lit at dusk holds something to warm. Firewood crackles in ancient tones, as if time spoke there. And for a moment, everything seems exactly where it should exist. Fire at dusk, tranquil flame that dances without haste at the end of the day, between legends and common life. It is here that the world breathes. Fire at dusk, a light that shelters even those who have no one to talk to. In each flame there is a memory that insists on not fading. On the golden walls of Valenport, the sun dissolves over the sea, and the water, so calm for a moment, seemed to rest as well. Guards leave their post, merchants close their gates, and in taverns another kind of story is born. Amidst laughter and shared glances. Not every battle requires a sword. Not every hero wants to fight. Sometimes winning is simply having a place to return to. Fire at dusk, a tranquil flame that dances without haste at the end of the day, between legends and ordinary life. It is here that the world breathes. Fire at dusk, a light that shelters This is where you say goodbye. Blinded by the white snow, stained red.
Footsteps follow without thinking. The wind carries old laments that no one wanted to hear. A door half open in a place it shouldn't be, and a silence that awakens something beyond walking. It's not a dream nor a memory, but it's not real either. It's just has always been here, between steps, between us. In the details we pretend not to see, in the shadows of our own voice. There are stories in what passes, and they begin without warning. Between the simple and the eternal, something insists on staying. On the road no one saw, but something has already on the dead road, dust and sun. Shadows hide, steel and dagger. Near the roots of dark earth you reach in the darkness.
The whispers fear in the air.
Today there is prey, just wait. Three silhouettes, difficult to define. Tattered close steps without law. One carries a club, I don't know what I saw. Another carries steel in his hand, and the third one watches like a predator. They don't follow a path, they don't follow reason. They are wandering, lost or not, first gesture speaks for itself. Valeriana, echo of the untamed north, the one who walks and is never defeated. They are the three wonders, Erahin, forgotten names, but alive in the chaos between madness and unequal power. They do not fight, they are the end. They are the three wonders, do not look back. The mind breaks, the soul shatters. If their eyes meet, do not ask for forgiveness. They do not judge, they only bring the end within reach. They are the three who wandered, Arion, killers. They weren't stories, I saw naked chaos. The men fell without understanding, and death itself recoiled upon seeing. They are the three who wander, final mark, neither strength nor faith nor ritual. Between the all becomes a name, Valeriana, the one to whom fate listened. Brothers in their origin, separated by their destiny, strong as stone and steel, wild as mountains and forests. The same size as their strength, they have their hearts, they love their people. Couples love each other and their sons and daughters. They love family and tribe.
When the world was only earth and water, before the forests were born, before love blossomed, in the time when the moon and the sun are right here.
One of the seven gods of creation, Morinadron, created two racers, according to their essence, the forge and war. One to work within the mountain, the dwarves, the other to live free in the forest,
The Barbarians, the
brothers in their origin, separated by their destiny, strong as stone and steel, wild as mountains and forests. The same size as their strength, they have their hearts, they love their people. Couples love each other and their sons and daughters. They love family and tribe.
When the world was only earth and water, before the forests were born, before
the barbarian decided to leave Brisaverde, not out of fear, but for the little ones, the barbarian children. A barbarian can fight to the end, but in this case, it's not just about a warrior.
Elves immortal, mortal when they fight.
Barbarian,
Their strength and their wrath speak loudly and without mercy.
the battle lasted for days when the elves retreated. Once again, the barbarians defended Brisaverde. Both knew that this war weakened both sides. A proposal needed to be made.
The proposal was refused, and the war would continue. So, to avoid the worst, the barbarians left Brisaverde.
Not out of fear, but for the little ones, the barbarian children. A barbarian can fight to the end, but in this case, it's not just a